when you need it. And your no-wait weather. CW News at 9 starts right now.
Hello and welcome to the CW News at 9. Thanks for watching. I'm Megan Reisted. Tonight, an explosion destroys a Madison home, leaving so many questions unanswered about what caused it and was anyone inside when it happened. And a Wendy's employee stops what police say could have been an armed robbery early this morning. Plus, the beginning of an era. For the first time ever, UWPD is operating under the same location. And before we move on to those stories, tonight we are halfway through what has been a gorgeous week. We are checking in right away with Amy Carlson to see what's in store for the rest of it.
And Megan, it looks like things will continue on a sunny note and clear skies overnight. Let's take a look at our current weather conditions. And right now our temperature has dropped into the lower 60s, but still very comfortable. Clear skies out there and light winds at this time. It's still holding on to 70 in Monroe, also in Mineral Point, but down to 61 degrees right now in Montello. For this weekend, look for warmer temperatures, at least through Saturday. Higher humidity levels to go along with that. Then some scattered rain showers on Saturday night, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder to go along with it. So overnight tonight, dropping to a low in the lower 50s, and our forecast then calls for just a few clouds, especially through southeast Wisconsin. Otherwise, the rest of us will continue to enjoy plenty of sunshine all the way through the end of the week, at least through the day on Saturday. If you have plans during the day on Saturday, you should still be in good shape. 51 overnight tonight and 81 for a high tomorrow.
Thanks, Amy. The big story tonight, 8 Madison families are left without a place to stay after an explosion that rocked the neighborhood. Witnesses say they heard the explosion around 2 this afternoon on Stratton Way near the intersection of South High Point Road. That's in the Ice Age Falls neighborhood. When firefighters got to the scene, they found debris scattered and a house on fire. 2 people had minor injuries, one a bystander, the other a firefighter. Half an hour later, they were able to get a look at that damage. This is a photo from Google Maps Street View from August 2011. According to the City of Madison property records, the owners of the home are Steve and Leanne Pyrus. And now this is what's left of that home today. At a press conference just hours ago, the Madison Fire Department says they are a long ways from learning what caused that explosion. The chief says they've made contact with the homeowner, but they still don't know if there was anyone inside when it happened, and they're still in that search and rescue mode. He says even though it's been hours since they got to the scene, the investigation is only beginning.
They have to work through the process of really piecing back together the house, and they won't do it on scene, but they have to document everything. They have to go through every piece of insulation and check for any evidence or anything that might lead us back to the cause of this event.
The sound shook an entire neighborhood. One woman says it woke her up and sent her running outside.
It was something so forceful that shook the entire building. So that's why I just immediately ran outside, because something didn't feel right. Just basically turned my head up the road here and just saw the flames up at least 50 to 100 feet in the air. Immediately just started running up the street. There were already people out here calling 911. We were here before anybody else was here, and basically just watched the roof was just onto the ground already.
And crews will be working throughout the night, which means 8 families living on Stratton will be without a place to stay for longer than expected. Our Morgan Wolf has been on the scene all day, and she spoke to one of those families that won't be sleeping at home tonight. Morgan, how are they doing now?
Well, Megan, as all these families are doing, they're hanging in there as this September day that was pitch perfect turned into chaos. Now, I spoke to a couple who lives and works at home. They said that the only thing that they were worried about tonight was making dinner. Now, they're worried on when they'll be able to get back home.
Want to come to our house? I'll be home in 10 minutes. Here's my garage code.
It's times of crisis.
I asked if we were okay, just saw the news.
When you realize how loved you are.
Very blessed that we have a lot of friends in the area who showed their concern and care.
That was the case for Janet Tegmeyer when she stepped outside this afternoon to find this.
The house had been completely obliterated. Flames were shooting 20, 30 feet at least.
First, Janet called her son, a senior at Memorial High School. Then it all sunk in.
And so we have family coming in. They're supposed to stay with us tomorrow night and over the weekend. And we haven't called her yet. We're not sure if we're going to be able to stay.
She says it's an inconvenience, but as people have shown love to her, she lends some to the ones who lost their home.
Our concern is for them. It's just tragic.
Now, there are many neighbors here that are letting those displaced stay with them, but there are some people who maybe still need a place to stay. If you are one of those people, you can reach out to the Red Cross. They have checkpoints at McKee Road and also at South High Point here just behind me. Give them a call at this number on the screen if you do need help. Live in Madison, Morgan Wolf, CW News at 9.
Thanks, Morgan. And we are following this story closely and will continue to update you online and on social media. We sent out a push notification to your phone about this story. If you want to get these, just download our app. We'll give you the latest information on this information and much more. And 2 months later, the 2-year state budget is getting a vote in the state assembly today. The $76 billion budget spends $500 million less than what the governor proposed earlier this year. It cuts property taxes and gives a record amount of funding to education. What it doesn't do is create a long-term solution for funding Wisconsin roads. Republicans say that's one reason it's being voted on weeks after its deadline.
We have tried as hard as we could to find a solution for transportation. Now, we have taken a step backwards to say this budget today ensures that the problem does not get worse under our watch.
The budget does borrow $400 million to pay for existing road projects. That's the smallest amount in over a decade. But Democrats say not addressing the issue will end up costing Wisconsin taxpayers down the road.
The thing we can be certain of is 2 years from now, our roads are going to be even worse than the already terrible level that they're at. And if the governor's reelected, I mean, maybe our roads will look something like Bolivia, for goodness sakes.
Now, we're still waiting on a vote from the Assembly. They have until midnight to debate. If the budget passes, it will be sent to the state Senate for a vote on Friday. The majority leader says there are, as of yesterday, he didn't think the Senate had the support it needs for it to pass. Madison police say a Wendy's worker stopped what could have been an armed robbery at the restaurant. The employee was taking out the trash around 1 this morning on the Wendy's on South Stoughton Road when a man with a gun came up to him. Police say the worker thought the gun was fake and actually got it away from the man. He threw it and ran back into the restaurant to call police. The man tried to find the gun but left in a black car when he had no luck. Police later found the gun and determined it was real and it was loaded.
We don't encourage people to try to disarm people, that we would ask that they probably should comply, but you also have to give people discretion and let them do what they think they can do in the moment. And in this moment, this employee thought he had a chance to take this gun away from the suspect, and he did.
Police are looking for a black man in his 30s or 40s who weighs about 175 pounds and is about 6 feet and was wearing a black jacket. If you have any information, please contact the number on your screen. 2 boys wanted for crashing a van into a garage that we told you about earlier this week are now wanted for a number of smash and grab burglaries. Madison police say 6 businesses on Post Road have been broken into and a number of items like the van they drove in that crash were taken. They say rocks were used to break into the windows and police are now investigating. It was a teenager on trial. Was she insane at the time of that stabbing? Today, a jury heard testimony in the Anissa Wire trial, focusing on what she believed then and now. A psychologist told the jury she is diagnosed Wire with a shared psychotic disorder, sharing delusions about Slender Man being real with Morgan Geyser, another girl charged in the stabbing. But earlier testimony suggested Wire wasn't mentally ill and just wanted to impress her friend. An investigator who talked to Wire after the stabbing says at first she said they stabbed and injured their classmate back in 2014 to be part of the world of Slender Man, but eventually that thought changed.
And did she, in fact, specifically tell you, in response to a question, does it worry you won't see Slender, or do you think he does not exist? Response, he does not exist. Did that happen?
Yes.
And then you said, okay, and she said he is a work of fiction.
2 other psychologists are expected to testify. They also believe she suffered from a mental disorder. For the first time in the history of the department, UWPD is now operating under one roof. Today, staff celebrated the addition to the police station on Monroe Street. It gives them double the space they had before, including a training room, better evidence room, and a garage. They even have an emergency management suite, and Police Chief Kristen Roman says the completion of this project marks a new era for the department.
To me, this building addition is a physical representation of UWPD's long-standing commitment to continuous improvement, to moving to that next level, to reaching higher, and the teamwork that is required to succeed.
They broke ground on the addition about a year ago and then finished at the end of July. The final cost was around $5 million. Meanwhile, Mound's Pet Food Warehouse in Sun Prairie is helping area canines stay safe in the line of duty. They have partnered with Wisconsin Vested Dog for bulletproof and stab-proof vests for canine officers with UWPD and Verona, and a heat sensory system as well. Mound says a lot of times equipment like this doesn't make it in the department's budget. Then they try to raise money for a vest for a dog every July, and this year a small change made a big difference.
So usually we raise about $3,000, $4,000.
Oh, okay.
And this year we asked if our customers would like to round up at the register. So instead of raising $3,000 or $4,000, we raised $22,500.
Wow, that is neat. The rest of the donations will go towards giving first aid kits to canine officers throughout Wisconsin. There's more news ahead tonight at 9. School shooting after a gunman opens fire at a high school. Authorities say they have an idea as to what could have sparked it. Then all eyes are on Peru for a highly anticipated decision on where the 2024 and 2028 Olympic Games will be. And during the break, make sure to check out our social media pages. Just look for WMTV Madison CW on both Facebook and Twitter.
You're watching CW News at 9 with Megan Rystad, meteorologist AJ Waterman, and Sports with Lucas Mayer.
Around the nation, police are investigating what led to the deaths of 8 people found inside a Florida nursing home left without power after Hurricane Irma. The Hollywood police chief says 8 people died and 115 people were taken to safety after responding to what they say was an extremely hot nursing home. The nearby hospital is calling it a mass casualty incident.
Patients have been treated for respiratory distress, dehydration, and heat-related issues.
Officials say the building has been without power since Sunday. Now a criminal investigation is going on, and Hollywood's mayor is urging other cities to check on their neighbors, families, and their friends.
The thing that kept going through my head was run. Just go, just keep running and don't stop.
A deadly shooting at a Washington State high school may have been revenge for bullying. The Spokane County Sheriff says the suspect came to Freeman High School this morning with 2 guns before opening fire on the 2nd floor. 1 student was killed, 3 more hurt.
Sounds like a case of a bullying type of situation. But there will be more to discuss once we fully get that information out.
Authorities say the student was stopped by a staff member and taken into custody, and they're still investigating. A group of Republican senators are taking another crack at health care reform, claiming their bill is the last chance at stopping the country from adopting a single-payer system. The bill would block grant funds to states to help citizens pay for insurance policies, end the Affordable Care Act individual mandate, and protect patients with pre-existing conditions. Senator Lindsey Graham is asking the president to help sell the bill.
If you believe repealing and replacing Obamacare is a good idea, this is your best and only chance to make it happen, because everything else has failed except this approach, which will work if we get behind it.
Just hours later, former presidential candidate Bernie Sanders proposed his new health insurance plan. He says it's more affordable and available to everyone, a federally run universal single-payer health care program that would eliminate copays and deductibles.
Today, we say to millions of workers that you should not have to be stuck in a job that you don't want just because it provides decent health care to your family.
Sanders didn't include specifics on how much his plan would cost or how it would be funded. The Olympics are coming back to the United States. The International Olympic Committee announced today Los Angeles will hold the 2028 Summer Olympics and Paralympic Games. Paris was awarded the 2024 Games. This will be the third Olympics for LA, and the city's mayor says they'll benefit from having longer to get the games ready for the winter.
Bringing the Olympics back home to LA gives us the chance to imagine what our city will look like a decade from now. The people of Los Angeles, we don't perceive the 2028 Games as 11 years in the future. We know that the Games, with your help, begin today.
Today's vote marks the first time the IOC has granted 2 Summer Olympics at the same time. Paris will host for the first time since 1924 after 3 unsuccessful bids.
From CW News at 9, your no-wait weather forecast.
Our trend continues of absolutely gorgeous days, but it will be coming to an end in the next few. But in the meantime, get out and enjoy. What a beautiful night ahead as temperatures gradually fall through the lower 50s. So once again, some very comfortable sleeping weather. Have you noticed some of the colors changing? Well, these weather conditions are perfect for producing some very vibrant colors. Yellows and oranges caused by the declining sunlight, and of course now sunset occurring at 7:10 in the evening. Reds and purples caused by cool nights, also warm afternoons and dry weather. Well, there we have it. That's exactly what we've had for this past week. And browns, those are brought on by drought. And a shorter season, well, of course, rainy days, also frosty nights, and some strong winds taking those leaves right off the trees. Just a reminder, fall officially starts just in 9 days on September 22nd, and the autumnal equinox will occur at 3:02 p.m. Eventually, we'll have a cold front making its way through Wisconsin, but in the meantime, we continue to have southerly winds bringing in some milder air. As that cold front eventually moves through, it will trigger some scattered showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two, but not until Saturday evening. And then we do have a possibility for some to continue through Sunday. But in the meantime, we'll enjoy more sunshine and very comfortable temperatures. In fact, well above the average high, which is now down to 73. There's a look at some of the remains of Irma as that continues to move off to the southeast. Our current temperatures include 59 in Lone Rock, 70 in Monroe, and right now 63 degrees in Oshkosh. Light and variable winds at this time will also continue. High temperatures for tomorrow, 85, a possibility in Fenimore, 81 in Arena, and 82 degrees in Platteville. And to the north, 82 degrees in Green Lake, also Reedsburg and Baraboo. And to the south, 81 for Fort Atkinson, also in New Glarus and in Mount Horeb. And look at all that sunshine. So your Weather Authority forecast overnight tonight, clear skies. We could have fog developing in the early morning hours once again, very similar to what we saw this morning. And then tomorrow we're looking at a high of 81 degrees. Today we made it to 82, so very similar. We do have some ones on our weather impact scale for both Saturday and Sunday, not during the day on Saturday, for Saturday night with the rain showers approaching. And then on Sunday, about a 40% chance for some scattered showers to occur. But look at the drop in temperature. We could make it all the way to the mid 80s for both Friday and Saturday. It's going to be more humid too at that point. And then we'll be back to the 70s, it looks like, as we make our way through the beginning of next week. But all in all, it will be absolutely gorgeous. We do need some rain, so hopefully some will materialize.
Okay. Got to enjoy those beautiful weekends while we still have them.
That's for sure.
Okay, thanks, Amy. Madison has been ranked one of the top 5 sportiest cities in the U.S. Men's Health magazine released these results yesterday.
They say researchers rank cities as the best or worst places to play or watch sports. Madison is ranked number 4.
I think Madison is number 1. Number 1 in my heart.
So do you know what number 1 was?
I don't.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll just be satisfied then with 4.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, the Badgers are getting ready for a trip out west, while the Packers are heading south to take on Atlanta in a brand new stadium. And Jocko, he's heading into the studio as we speak for sports.
Hello again, everybody. The green and gold getting ready to play a little football on Sunday night against the Falcons in a brand new stadium in Atlanta. The Packers certainly have experience on their side. Green Bay played at first ever game at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis last year and know that Sunday night will be a challenge for them as well.
I just think it's louder in general. The way they've been constructing newer buildings, I'm sure there's some thought that goes into it about sound and how they can make it as loud as possible. You know, Atlanta's got some great sports fans, so it was rocking last year. Both times we played, Minnesota was rocking, opening that stadium, and it's going to be rocking on Sunday night as well.
I made those graphics myself. The Badgers will take off tomorrow for their date with BYU in Provo, and so far Wisconsin, the offense, has left the defense in some tough spots, but defensive coordinator Jim Leonard says his side of the ball just needs to do their job.
It's just the focus. It's the detail. You know, you can't hang your head when something bad goes wrong. We have to be the ones to stop the bleeding. That's how we have to see it. It's, you know, more TV time for us. It's time for us to get back out there and play, and we have to approach it that way no matter what the situation is.
Well, I got a breakaway from football for just a minute to tell you the Brewers are playing the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight. They lead 7-1, but I also told you earlier today on Twitter, Jocko Sports, follow me, I'll follow you back, Jocko Sports. The cruise series with Miami this weekend has been moved to Milwaukee because of Hurricane Irma. Time right now for our NBC 15 Sports Athlete of the Week. We showed you that earlier at 6, and this kid is well deserving of the award. Tyler Hack of Deerfield. Hack had a state record, get this, Megan, 8 touchdowns. Hack and the Demons overcame a 22-point deficit to beat Randolph 60-42. The sophomore finished with over 500 yards passing and a big W for Deerfield.
Wow.
8 touchdowns, Megan.
That's awesome.
You know how many I had in my career in high school?
How many?
0.
Oh, really?
Less than 22.
He
or
should give
8
you some
or
lessons
whatever I
then.
said.
So we were talking about
Yeah.
how Men's Health ranked Madison as
Yep.
the number 4 for sportiest city to watch and play
Yeah.
sports. Austin, Texas got first. We looked it up between the break. What do you think? I mean, expert opinion here.
Madison is way better than Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Horns
I
down,
think so
baby.
too.
Horns down.
Horns, was it?
Yeah,
horns
horns
down?
down.
Okay, horns down. We'll see you for weather in just a few minutes.
And it looks like we'll have another gorgeous day for tomorrow. 81 degrees and sunny skies, even warmer on Friday and Saturday, and hopefully we'll pick up a little bit of rainfall Saturday night into Sunday.
Looking forward to it.
You're the best.
You are.
No, you are, Jocko. You're the best.
Okay.
When you see news happen, call 274-1500. News when you need it. CW News at 9.